you've gone from selling 200 lambs direct to consumers in year 1 to 600 in year 2 and 900 this year, almost your full production, at 3 times the commodity value. That's quite something. Can you break down what that revenue model actually looks like, what it costs to run, and how long it took before the business felt financially sustainable?
Yeah, it probably took at least 2 years to become sustainable. And so to begin with, the first element was, okay, what price do we sell our lamb at? And so we always thought our lamb was pretty good, but we needed consumers to tell us that it was good. So we started selling lamb too cheap. So, when it's funny when you look back at it, but we used to sell a rack of lamb for $35 a kilo. Oh, wow. If you rock into Coles this week, it'll be $75. And we had, and we had some of the world's best.
It's not your quality of lamb, yeah.
And so now we price we're pretty much on most cuts we're similar to the supermarket at much higher value to the consumer.
Right.
There's a few cuts where we're more expensive, like they will sell a leg of lamb as a loss leader. So we won't. We sell a leg of lamb at a proper price.
Yep.
So from a general economics point of view, our lambs, if we can grow out our lambs to 25 to 30 kilograms, then we can sell them for around $700 to $750 a lamb.
Okay.
Instead of if it was, let's say you use $10 a kilo at the livestock market and that lamb was worth, $250 to $300 at the livestock market.
Okay.
So then we pay about $150 to get that lamb processed. So if it's a $750 lamb, we're really selling it for $600.
Does that include your own costs of trucking and time?
Yeah, so it depends. Our costs per animal depend on how many animals we take.
Right.
So if we're taking if we're taking 10 animals, it's twice as expensive as if we're taking 20.
Okay.
So then our other costs, which if I model over the year, so we've got at the moment diesel's expensive to drive for 2 hours.
Yep.
But so we have time costs and diesel costs and depreciation on a vehicle to drive to the abattoir and back. And so if you think about that, the labour cost is probably, $250.
Yes.
And then the fuel cost is normally, I would say, $100, but at the moment it might be $200.
Yep.
And so let's say it's $500, so that's $50 a lamb if it's only 10 lambs.
Yep.
But it's only $25 a lamb if it's 20 lambs.
Okay.
And so that's why, because we have all these costs that are fixed per lamb, the bigger the lamb, the less it is per kilogram. So for us, a 30 kilo lamb is much more valuable than a 20 kilo lamb.
And how do you control the amount of fat that the lambs produce?
It varies by year. So we train the customers.
Okay.
Again, just like the wine.
Yep.
The lamb is different.
I vary
over
like
the
that.
year.
Some years I'm fatter than other years.
and so my son did an internship with an investment bank in Melbourne, and it was really interesting. The feedback from his colleagues who bought the lamb was they actually preferred the autumn lamb to the spring lamb because it was leaner. So the animals in the spring have higher fat levels than they do in the autumn.
Okay.
And so they actually prefer the autumn lamb, but they can also buy different cuts that are leaner than others. And so, your shoulder is going to be the fattiest.
Right.
And so, traditionally most people eat more shoulder in the winter than they do in the summer. And so, we also, what was interesting when we went from 200 lambs to, 800 or 900 was, could we sell every single bit of the lamb?
Right.
Every single bit.
Maximize the value from each lamb as well.
Well, and because we couldn't afford to have bits that we didn't sell.
Right.
Well, there's only so much room in your freezer, and you can't put 900 lamb necks in the freezer.
That's it.
So when we started, didn't think we'd be able to sell every bit of a lamb.
Okay.
But we have shown that you can.